You know what they say, a win's a win. Yeah, that's all they say. But you know what? I am not just somebody that takes it as a blanket of a statement as that. You know me, folks. I like to go deeper. I like to find out what exactly happened in between the hashes. Some of you may know that I go back and watch some of these broadcasts maybe a couple times back, or if there's a moment in the game that I want to replay, I replay that all of the time, especially in my free time when I'm not working. And of course, I'm going back to Saturday night's win for the Bearcats against Oregon State in Corvallis. First win of 2025, $1.2 million in the bank, but it wasn't exactly the prettiest of football games. There's a couple of plays I would love to go back and watch over and over again and break down, but there's this one play that everyone has been talking about, questioning, and all that sorts of thing, and rightfully, and I say rightfully, criticizing. And of course, I'm talking about the 3rd and 18 screen, botch screen, rather, I should say, Locke interception that gave Oregon State some life. But before we kind of break down sort of what happened, just kind of want to make you understand the context behind this a little bit more. Of course, about 7 minutes before this, Brody Henderson returned a blocked punt by Lyric Smith to the house. Oregon State drove down the field a couple times, just they couldn't get nothing going. They had the ball inside the 2-minute timeout, and then Tyler Bailey, of course, intercepted it. Then the Bearcats had this drive going on right here. First play, Jarian Parker put in the game at running back, no gain, 1st and 10. 2nd and 10, he runs to the left, 18-yard gain, and that could just do it right there. They could have just kneeled it down a couple more times, and that could have ended it because Oregon State had 2 timeouts. But a holding call, unfortunately, negated that and backed up the Cats 8 yards. And then what happened was, let's see here. It was a rush to the right by Parker, no gain, or rather 2nd and 20. Then it was 3rd and 18, and it brings us to this moment in the game. And of course, I'm talking about this. Shotgun, 2 receivers left, tight end, 1 receiver right, Parker in the backfield. Play action, tunnel screen. Oh no, intercepted. Eckert with the touchdown saving tackle. Oregon State gets some life, but we already know how it ended, folks. The Bearcats, of course, came out on top with the defense, making another fantastic stand. But man, oh man, that is not what you exactly want. Let's watch that a couple more times. Oh no, that is not what you want if you are the Bearcats. And here was head coach Phil Longo on the 3rd and 18 play call.
Well, that was, and I ended to tell you the same thing. That's probably the worst play I've seen him execute since he's been here. And I think he'd tell you the same thing. It was a screen. We were just throwing what was supposed to be a short, quick, high percentage screen, so we didn't endanger the football. At 3rd and 18, you're still trying to generate something where maybe we can create a little space and turn that thing into a kick return, and 2 things: either one, go get the first down, but if you knock out 12 yards there, you give yourself a little bit more room to punt them inside the 20. And then they tell you in our quarterback room, you got to be an athlete on screenplays. That's understanding number one. And then the other coaching point is we don't ever lift a screen throw over a defender. There's got to be a free eye line to the receiver. And we made that mistake. We lifted it up over a defender. It sailed over our slot receiver's head, and they got the pick. And it gave our defense an opportunity to come out for the 3rd drive, in that type of scenario and get the stop that we needed for the win.
All right, let's break down exactly what this play is first before we really get into the opinion that I have when it comes to this. Just it's nicely designed. So you're of course gonna have Tim Burns Jr. up top. I think he's a designated blocker. Then you're gonna have Chris Reed run a little drag route around the 40-yard line. You're gonna see him there. I'll actually let this play out a little bit so y'all can have a better idea of everything. Okay, everyone's set. Cool. Awesome. Now we can go ahead and look. What you're going to have here is that you're going to have Eckert draw himself out here. Grady is going to do a fake bubble and then come back in and be around here for a tunnel screen. You're going to have the tight end Smith go out this way to be a blocker alongside with McCollum being a blocker as well. Don on his end is going to swing out here too. Dietrich is going to stay right there. Of course, Parker is going to go just run this way. Pretty simple. And you're going to have Larson as well just cover this A gap right here as well. It's actually pretty simple. And if it works out, I mean, look how far out that Oregon State is spread out. Look how far out they are. And I'm going to go ahead and clear everything off the screen real quick. And it's just right here at this moment that Locke unfortunately messed up. He sees this edge rusher come free, and the edge rusher figures out like, hey, oh, I know what exactly is going on here. See, he sees it because he breaks off like this. He sees what Eckert and Don are doing. I lied. Dietrich actually moves more inside, but either way, the point still stands. Just what Longo said is that you need to be athletic on these kind of screenplays. And you can see Locke clearly shorts arm it. I wish we had a better angle from the side just so I can kind of see what Locke is more seeing. But the essence remains true is that you need to be athletic. You can't be short arming it. Because guess what? Look, if this play works out, I mean, listen, you have one. Oops. Hold on. That's not what I wanted. Let me get that cleared off. Let's see. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys on defense that are essentially out of this area of play. The best case scenario is the first down, of course, but the ideal situation that you want is for Grady with his speed to get at least 10 to 12 yards on the play, like Longo mentioned. Because look at all this space he has, and look at the blockers he has. Tim Burns Jr. has done pretty well on run blocking this year, or just blocking in general this year. I'm confident, in my opinion, that he gets this guy marked. You have Eckert then coming out. You then have James Don coming out. I mean, if Locke just completes this pass, it's pretty much like, hey, Grady pretty much has all the room that he needs and has all the help he can get. And the problem is, though, is that Locke just sees this guy, like I said, coming off the edge. He recognizes what's going on here, and he has a free rusher coming up at him. Smith probably should have blocked him, or maybe Larson and Dietrich could have probably slid a little bit more so that way that guy could be accounted for. But, you know, I'm sure Locke would say, like, I should make a better pass. At the end of the day, it didn't work out, and it is what it is. But fortunately, though, for the Bearcats, Eckert makes that touchdown saving tackle. Oregon State goes 3 and out, and that is all she wrote. Now, if you want to know my opinion on it, I don't like the call, but I understand it. And here's the thing. I was saying, do not throw it. Just go ahead and just run it with Parker. Get a couple of yards, force them to call a timeout, and just have Duran punt it away. He didn't exactly have the best of nights. He's had better nights, but he started getting the hang of the punting. Duran did as the game went on, and he's reliable. I am full on confident with calling Duran reliable as a punter, that he can put it out back there. And the punt coverage has been pretty good. Had been pretty good in that game for Sam Houston. The special teams overall had been pretty good in that game. The defense, you know, albeit Oregon State helped them out a couple of times, but they were pretty solid nonetheless. I mean, at the end of the day, they locked it down at the end after that interception, but at least give the defense some breathing room. And then you look at the other side. Well, if that play is completed, Grady has 2 blockers in front of him, a lot of green grass, and he gets 12 yards. And heck, maybe he gets first down. And if that happens, we're all talking about how great of a play call that is. And it's not exactly throwing Locke under the bus if you know exactly what really went wrong. I mean, should Longo have put a freshman quarterback in that position? Probably not, but he probably just trusts Locke that much and probably tells you something a little bit, which is a conversation that I want to get to sometime in the future when we get into the off season. And this is a play I'm pretty sure they practice quite a lot. I like the play design. I like the call. I like the play design, but personally for me, I don't like the call in that situation. But I also secretly kind of do like it because I think it's actually got it's an aggressive play call and I like being aggressive. Why not? You're 0-8. Why the hell not? But you know, at the end of the day, it didn't work out. It is what it is. The defense though locked it down, and the Bearcats came out with the W. That's all that matters at the end of the day. If you enjoyed this piece of content, we got plenty more, of course, coming your way with the podcast and stuff. And hopefully I can put out some more of these individual videos like this. If you haven't already, be sure you like, be sure you subscribe today. Follow us on all of our social media outlets. Collin Neal from Sam Houston Sports Talk. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Eat 'em up, cats.